yeah. But anyway, pretty short chapter, right? Like, it's a complete bad chapter, a great fight. So I'm still doing the review right away. Like, not much to review, because it's just a big battle, or it's like a 1 versus 3 battle, then it's over, right? So that's why I also get fast to read it, and not much to say, really, honestly. Like, no, but that thing I have to say right away. I mentioned it during the readings, but that was a little weird, because imagine it. Okay, I'm gonna poison you now by adding like octopus saliva, or whatever, like nerotoxin in the octopus body, into my arms, and then when you eat my arms, you're gonna get the poison in you. And I was saying that already. It's like, man, would that work? Because if he can digest anything, he would be able to digest, poisonous whatever, berries, fishes, and so on, and his body would, whatever, break it down to small pieces. And because a poison is just an atom to different kind of similar molecules in different chains, usually some carbon molecules, and blah blah blah, and they have some kind of methyl or something, right, like a triple binding or something, and that makes you so your body can't break it down. And basically, most poison you eat, right, that you're poisoned of, are because the triple binding or double binding, triple bindings at the atom level. So the molecules have 3 like this instead of having just like 1 or 2. And if you have 3, you can have a hard time breaking them down. That's why talking about like good fats, like omega fats, having 1 bind instead of 2, and then you can actually add a bind there, so you can actually absorb some fat, or like absorb shit in your body, so on, etc. and stuff like that. That's usually how it works. So for example, if you do some kind of moonshine alcohol, that is dangerous, because you have usually a methyl binding. So you usually have 3 bindings in the alcohol instead of just having 2 or 1 or something. So usually you have that. Well, it's 2 in normal, so in alcohol, right? So yeah, because you have ethanol, and they have one less. You have 1 less carbon atom, and instead you have a triple binding, because they need to fill out their electro shells. And because of that, your body cannot break it down, because it has a triple instead of a double or single binding, right? And it's much harder to break it down. Binding is much stronger, so it has more energy. So that's what happens, is that your body just let it pass, and that's why you might get blind and so on, because the kidneys can't like break it apart, those molecules. So you just make bad. So usually, one thing you do to avoid being like poisoned by alcohol, if you are drinking bad alcohol like moonshine, whatever, and you can actually give the patient more, actually, like a lot more. So then body will just like keep going, keep sending it through, or just like a lot of other stuff, don't eat stuff and water. That actually can help you, because it actually gets you through the body. So I should tell you what medical things, but like basically that you can break it down by forcing the body to not break it down. So then we just like pee it out eventually in your urine. And then the problem is, if the body starts trying to break it down too much, and you absorb it into your body, then it will be stuck in your body as triple bindings, and then it will poison you. So you can be blind and so on. So basically, most poison are that, right? You eat and so on. And if his body has the digest quirk, like for me, that would be like, that wouldn't matter then. I can give you poison, but you have like a magical power to digest anything. I assume metal and so on as well. So obviously your body can like just break down any molecule into normal molecule, like minor atoms or ions, whatever, so on, and you can eat it and absorb the energy out of it. Right? That I would assume, at least, if you have the digest quirk. That's how it should work. So that was weird. And he's like, well, I have this, I will poison you by doing this. He's like, okay, it eats the body anyway. And then it never is brought up again either. Yeah, that made sense. I was expecting that to be like, why did he get poisoned? I told you the poison thing. He's like, my stomach can eat poison because I have the digest quirk, you fool. Or being like, well, you can digest this much, but I added this thing. So even if you digest it in your stomach, this special neurotoxin poisons the inner membrane of your stomach, before your acid can break it down, because of this specific poison or something. So it hurts in your throat before it gets to your stomach, or something, right? That could have worked. It could be like, well, your stomach can break anything down, but this poison is so lethal to skin cells or whatever. So in your throat, you can't breathe anymore before it gets to your stomach. So you actually, I will, paralyze you by blocking your airways. That could have been a thing. I don't know how you say that could have been a thing or whatever, right? But they just kind of dropped it. It was like, I poisoned you. I'm gonna poison this guy. And he's like, okay, poison me. And it's like, next page, like, whatever. And never mentioned. There's one panel where the it guy is standing still there for like a short, brief panel, which to almost be paralyzed. But then he still attacks him in the next page, right? Or like 2 pages afterwards. So maybe he was like extremely short paralyzed there. But even if it was, there was no one mentioned that. He didn't say like I can't move my body. So it was very like that was weird. That part nitpicking for me, but that part makes some sense to me. The other part was good though. Like it's a good, I think it's a good fight because he's fighting these guys. They are like fanatic. They are like whatever. We're gonna fight until we die. We don't care who you are. We're just gonna go at you, and you can try to kill us. We don't care if you die. And he gave a pretty good speech as well because like classic. If you watch like Kadi or something, we have like Yakuza money and so on. A lot of like this debt thing, right? They're like, yeah, we are people that own money. Our lovers took our wealth and yada yada. We be betrayed and so on. Like we're the scum of the planet. We have no value, and this guy took us up anyway. Give us work. So yeah, they're like very fanatic in their like belief of their mafia classic, that kind of leader, right? So he answered that later. It's like suddenly like, yeah, this guy can't be reasoned with, and they aren't afraid of him. They're just like extremely fanatic for the leader. So I have to beat them by just really beating them. I cannot try to talk to them as well. So he gets that after a while there. And he himself is like, yeah, my friendship is stronger than your friendship and so on. Well, I think my your courage is stronger. But yeah, like it was a pretty good fight, bloody fight, so I liked it. I always felt like he was gonna lose for a bit. So I really enjoyed that. Like I felt like he's probably not gonna lose. This guy won't die here. That would be kind of weird if he died from this like random guy. That would be kind of underwhelming death for this character. But on the same time, I was like, he's actually getting really blood now, punch in the face. Crystal guy, there's like a really big swoop, slam in his face with his crystal arm, and like blood now. That was pretty good. So. Yeah, and it has a strategy in the end. Like, I'm gonna blind this guy that has the steel power and so on. So that was pretty good. However, though, felt like steel guy didn't do much. Oh, I took a shelf in your hands, like yeah, and then I took this octopus part of your body. Like that was like, yeah, he can just produce more, right? Like, oh, you took my arm, but I build a new arm. I have arm building power. It's like it's like 8 arms. Oh, I can just make a new arm of other arms. Like whatever. That was kind of weird. Definitely felt that the eating guy obviously and the crystal guy was the one actually doing damage to him, right? The steel guy is like, he's more the moral guy. He's standing there giving the speeches like, yeah, come on guys, eat him faster. He's that guy, like he's giving the other ones like more support. No, but I think it was a pretty good fight. However though, I'm super nitpicking. This chapter was a good chapter. I felt that they probably could have done this in one chapter? I don't know. We had a break last week. So I guess it's coming a little in my brain here. I'm thinking like, damn, this fight started like a month ago, But it's a break there, so I have to, there's like a bias subconsciously in my mind thinking like, when did this fight start? We had like a very short flashback. Why did it take so long time? It was a break. Yes, that is true. That break made it feel subconsciously that we had spent here for way too long time. But that being said, it feels like it's too long, right? It could have been a little shorter, I think. It feels like some pace. Even if it's a bloody fight, I think they're kind of like, I don't know if it's like the beginning, it's a little slow. I don't know. Things that they kind of doing the same thing they did last chapter. Then I get some strategy out there. I'm just like very briefly looking at the picture here again. Yeah, page 6. Then he bites the arm off. I think you probably could have started with that page. Lars doesn't really do much. Yeah, the thing is that actually freaks me out the most, the positive, is this page 8 here, when it's like I have to outmove her, I can outmove her the bite guy, and then we see like the Larsen guy. Yeah, he's like, you gonna fight us 3-1, Suneater? And we have his voice, like it's a couple of phrase image on Suneater, and he's holding, I think, like a shell or something, and like that page adds nothing really. Like, it's setting as last week. So I think that's probably chapter a little. I'm nitpicking though, but it's a pretty good chapter. But I just want to say it. I think that's kind of a little confusing here because there are a couple of pages here where I feel they're saying the exact same thing they did last time or previously in the same chapter, and that's one of those things. It's like, 3-1 right there. Said last week as well, and I'm just confused because like what's holding in his hand because they focus on his visor. And the next panel is like, yeah, and he holds something that looks like the visor pretty much in his hand. Not exactly, but it's very similar. But then we see the next panel, or 2 panels later, and has to have his score. He didn't take it, but it almost looks like he did. Like, that is interesting to me, because it looks like he almost did. And then the next page, actually, the other guy breaks his visor by smacking him. Like, to me, it honestly feels like the author here almost wanted him to be like, ha, I grabbed your face protector, then his body is like, yeah, punched you in the face while that thing is gone, right? That's how I can honestly read this page here. If it's like, I have this stealing power, we focus on his face, then his face again, and then the next page is like, bam, he's being smacked from the side, you know, blood coming out of his eye, right? And it feels like that guy would, you know, grab that protector he sees, right? But he's like, haha, here's one, Durm takes your helmet, and then the guy's like, bam, punched you in your face, right? That's how I kind of read this fight. That's kind of how I see this fight being going on. That would make sense to combine the powers and so on, right? But when I read it, it's clear he doesn't take it. But it feels like he almost not, because he even has something in his hands that could be like advisor almost. So that is confusing. And that means this page here is just meaningless then, right? It's kind of like, I don't know what it means really. Like, what's the point? It's just like, haha, 3 versus 1, buddy. It's like, you say that again. And just again there, that is just confusing me. Like, I mean, no, I see what's happening, but it feels like, what I just explained, it feels like he would take it from his hand, so his body can come in from the side. It feels like that is the combo they're trying to do, but they aren't. And the third guy is like eating his arm and so on, and there's blood in his face now. So yeah, that page is confusing to me. It really is. And then they're talking a little too. Yeah, and then they go in this, that is great. Then they do in there, like, oh, we are this thing and so on, and then suddenly it goes like bird. Like, after that, to capture him, and that's great as well. So I think it's pretty good. It's just those two pages there confuses me a little. First thing, they never seem to have any reason. I mean, the fight is good overall, but I just think that would be cooler too. I mean, I don't know, maybe nitpicking it, but that would be cool if it's like, I took your protection and bam, my body's like punching you in the face after I grabbed your, you know, face shield. That would be really cool, I think. And also, it's like the post thing. That's kind of confusing. But otherwise, it's a good battle. However, though, I would say it also ends a little too easy for him. Like, I'm a little unsure as he does it in the end there. I have to say this fight is a little confusing. I mean, obviously what's happening is happening, but I mean, it's confusing on the sense like, if it's reasonable, I think so. Like, how it's reasonable. Because in the end, he does this like gigantic, I guess, like a talon leg, and just pushes them all down. With some kind of like freaky mutant leg. It's like bigger than his body, like the leg is like, you know, gigantic size. So suddenly he was like morphing into something like a gigantic, you know, whatever, monster bird with his legs, right? That's how I kind of read it. And it feels like that to me almost a little cheap shot. It's like he's getting surrounded by 3 guys. They are better equipped than him. They have also fanatic, you know, friendship and so on. And it's like, no, my friendship is stronger. Bam, super secret attack. I'm 10 times bigger. I hit you with it. It's kind of like that. So I think that. I was thinking I wish the chapter would explain Sunless's powers better, like where's the limit of them and so on, and how do they actually combine stuff. Like previously we see in like with enemies, for example, we see that they're talking about, oh, he has ice power, but he has to, you know, exhaust his cellular structure in his body and so on. He can't use, you know, infinite number of ice because this and this and this, right? So they're doing like reasoning how it actually works, like facts, like you can't. But suddenly it's like, no, I can just summon this gigantic bird leg suddenly and just kill you all in one attack. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, the more I read the chapter, the less I actually like it, to be honest. So now I'm super negative, but I don't get one. Like, they have 2 different pages I don't get at all, and this feels kind of wasted and just kind of whatever, and it just doesn't matter in the end anyway. And then this finishing is actually kind of cheap. Like he getting beaten up again, but it's great. But then he kind of wins easily. I think he suddenly is like, oh, whatever, I'm serious now, bam. So that's actually pretty bad. That is not good. Huh. Yeah, the last page is actually irritating me. The more I look at it, like, what the fuck is this gigantic bird leg thing? I don't know. And it really isn't like talking about this Nakama thing in the end here, but it doesn't really like his friends in there or anything. So it's actually kind of unmotivated. It's just like generally I train a lot to do this thing. I don't know. It's weird. The chapter is a little confusing, I think. I mean, it's like a power level confusing, right? Not confusing in what happened. Like, it's very clear that we have one guy fighting 3 bad guys and he wins in the end after losing half his blood like that. That is very clear. Like, the main storyline is very, very clear. But the actual battle and their powers and how they actually don't interact, like, I poison you, or I guess I didn't, or I guess it didn't affect him, or like, I can steal stuff, but nothing important, or something, or it's like, on a power level scale. I think it's very like whatever. Anyway, I don't know, I'll finish it. See you next week.